to a group calling itself the Campaign for Children and Families, reacting to the California court decision to allow same-sex couples the same rights as everybody else. This group wrote on its website, quote, "Ask your county clerk if they were a Nazi officer during World War II and had been ordered to gas the Jews, would they?" I don't know who the families are in your Campaign for Children and Families, but they're obviously not American families. There's seemingly evidence here that they're not even human families. Runner-up, Lou Dobbs, who's been perpetuating the fear-mongering myth that someone out there is secretly planning to build an actual NAFTA superhighway from Mexico all the way to Canada. When called on this BS by MediaMatters.com, who asked for an evidence of this so-called superhighway, Dobbs turned an even more mottled shade of purple and said, quote, "The evidence is straightforward," adding, "We haven't enough time for this," then winding up to, "You are a left-wing advocacy group, you're charging nonsense," and topping it all off with, "I reject it, I reject you, and I reject your position." Now remember, Lou, if there is a NAFTA superhighway, it'll be easier for you and your equestrian daughters to get from horse event to horse event, where the dung from their six-figure horses will be picked up by those very undocumented immigrants whose presence here you decry 5 nights a week and then underwrite and depend on the other 2 days a week. But our winner, Rear Admiral Mark Busby, the commander of the Joint Task Force at Guantanamo Bay, in a conference call with those who write about defense matters, he told blogger Andrew Lubin, quote, "We don't have any solitary confinement down here in Guantanamo. What we have is single cells. I mean, there's one person to a cell. All the cells are all right next to each other." Lubin replied, "That's like having a single apartment in a fraternity house." To which Rear Admiral Busby said, "Pretty much." Imprisonment without trial, without access to an attorney, often on specious charges of terrorism. Of course, that was the plot to Animal House, wasn't it? Rear Admiral Mark Busby, in English, it's Rear Admiral Mark Busby, today's worst person in the world.